Welcome back to the show. Today, I want to talk to you about how to really position yourself as a luxury service provider. If you've ever thought about being in your marketplace and whatever industry you're in, and feeling like there is a crowded marketplace and you want to be able to stand out in that marketplace, then today's episode is definitely going to help you. We're going to talk about 3 ways high ticket offers will help you to grow your business and position as the luxury service provider that you want to be. One of the things that I always teach my clients is to position themselves at the high end of the market instead of the lower end of the market. And let me give you a few examples of what I mean. If you look at a department store like a Nordstrom's, for example, they are really positioned at the high end of the market. They are going after clients with more disposable income versus a company like Walmart, right, which has what they call an EDLP strategy, which stands for everyday low price, which is a retail terminology. They make their money off of volume. So that is selling a lot more stuff, right? So they want to sell a lot of stuff. That's how they make their money. They want to sell huge quantities of a particular item. They don't necessarily sell it for a lot over what they paid, right? So they're not aiming for high profit margins per se. They're aiming for volume. They want to sell thousands and tens of thousands of an individual item. Whereas if you're looking at a higher end department store like a Nordstrom's, like I mentioned, they really make their money off of profitability. So they're not looking to sell volume on one item, right? Like, in fact, they don't even typically have a large volume of an item. If you were going to buy a top from Nordstrom's, they might have, you know, 2 or 3 size runs, which means like 3 smalls, 3 mediums, 3 larges, right? You're not going to find, like in Walmart, it'll be like 30, 40 mediums, right? 40 larges, right? Like, I'm exaggerating, right, with the numbers, but you get what I mean, right? There's just going to be a lot more abundance of the product than there is in a higher end store. This is actually a strategy that you can utilize as a business owner. So let's talk about how this all applies to your business. You might be asking, like, okay, Jamila, I get it. How do I make this work for me? As a service provider, you want to think about how you're positioned in the marketplace. That includes the messaging around your offers, how you're pricing your offers, and overall, how you communicate your value to your potential clients. The mistake that I often see women service providers making is feeling like they need to pay their dues and get more established in their industry before they can charge a sustainable rate for the value of the services for the value of their services, basically charging what their services are worth, right? So you feel like, oh, I got to kiss the ring. I got to pay my dues. I got to be around for some time. I have to have a certain amount of followers or a bigger audience or be established more, right? We tell ourselves all these things that we have to have first before we can actually charge for the value of our services worth. And I'm here to say no more of that, girlfriend. Those days are over, okay? I also want you to know that high ticket and positioning yourself as a luxury service provider is not about just raising your rates just because. Like, I'm not an advocate of just charging people astronomical amounts of money just because. I'm not about overcharging on your offers without having the value be representative of what you're charging, the value of what they're gonna get, the results of what your client is going to get needs to match up to what you're charging. And it's also not about thinking that you're better than someone or that someone could be your clients or it could be other people that are in your industry, other people in the marketplace, right? It's not about thinking that I'm better or thinking that you're better, or any of us service providers thinking that we're better than someone else. It's not about that at all. What you're really doing is you're saying that you want to show up in the marketplace as one of the best of what you do. You want to be seen as top in your industry, and you want to attract top notch clients. That's the difference. It shows that you want to provide a high value client experience. For example, for our company, Daily Success Routine, when we get new clients and we're able to send them a welcome gift, I have this whole, I wish I grabbed it so that I could show you for those that are listening to the episode or watching the episode live on YouTube. I have this beautiful box that we send our clients. It has, breadwinners all over it and Daily Success Routine, and it has wonderful sayings on it, and it's branded in the image of the company. And what I typically include in it is some of our training materials, our training tools that we use with our clients. And then I also put a little swag in the box too, like our Breadwinner t-shirt and some other things like that. Like we give a makeup bag and some other fun things. So that's something that we can give right from the start of the relationship with the client to really get them introduced to us, what we do, incorporating them in the brand. Like, it's a great way to welcome someone in your business. And we're able to do that because we're priced profitably. We're priced at a range. We're positioned on the higher end of the market because we want to provide service at the higher end of the market. I don't want to be your average business coach. I want to be great. I want our clients to feel like they're getting a great experience and they're really excited to be associated with our company and proud that they have hired us for their coaches, that they have hired us, they've to be their mentors. And so that's really what's important to me. And I'm sure that that is what is important for you too, in whatever the service is that you provide, right? So one of my favorite examples of this as a company who started off positioned in the high end of the market is Uber. Now, say what you want to say about the company, right? Like, they're certainly not a perfect company. But one of the things that, from my perspective, that they did do really well is when they came into the market, they used what is called a bullseye approach in business, right? Like, they went for a center target and then they spanned outward and outward and outward. Let me tell you what I mean by that. When Uber entered into the marketplace, they started off by going after people with disposable income, that high end, high caliber client. They launched with Uber Black, their Black car service. They made multiple millions of dollars offering their Black car service. Now, I remember taking an Uber Black when I was in my corporate days working on a marketing team for a social media marketing company. I was the director of marketing there for the social media marketing company. And we would take Uber Blacks to go to some of our meetings, like when we were going to pitch or meet different clients. And these are the types of individuals or types of companies that were using the Uber Black service, like people that are working within companies that want to go to meetings, that want to show up in a certain kind of way, right? You want to have all the vibes when you're showing up to set yourself at a certain bar, right? Showing up to this client meeting. So Uber started out at the high end of the marketplace, and they made millions of dollars before they ever went on to offer their services in the next tier of the bullseye, right? If you think about a bullseye target, you know how there's like that circle in the center and then it spans out to the next rung. So before they went to the next rung, which was Uber X, they established themselves with the Uber Black service. It's a niche customer. It's a smaller group of customers that could afford their Uber Black service, but they position themselves at the high end in the marketplace before they started fanning out to these other rungs to go for these wider markets. Okay. So their next market was Uber X, right? Which then meant there wasn't necessarily going to be a Black car service, right? This was an individual driving their own car. Might be a nice car, might not be a nice car, right? It was a different experience, different quality of service, different customer in that next tier of service. And then they spanned out from there to Uber Pool, right? Which is a whole different audience. And now they have a whole nother one, which is basically like, we'll just drop you off at the corner, right? I don't even know what they call that version of the service. But what I want you to know is when you think about yourself as a service provider, you want to do what they did, which is hit that bullseye. You want to be able to position yourself at the higher end of the market before you start spanning out to all of these other customer groups, which then puts you back in the volume game, right? Uber Pool is a volume game. They're trying to serve more people. That's why they have multiple people getting in the ride. They're trying to increase their average price point per ride by getting more people in the car that are going different places. That's a completely different experience in the Uber Black. So you have to ask yourself, when it comes to your clients and it comes to your customers and it comes to your business, what kind of experience are you trying to create? Are you trying to be the Uber Pool, or are you trying to be Uber Black? Are you trying to be Nordstrom's, or are you trying to be Walmart? Are you trying to be Zara, or are you trying to be Old Navy, right? Like, where do you want to see yourself positioned? And I just want to say that there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer when it comes to how you're positioning yourself in your marketplace. But I'm a firm believer of teaching women service providers to position themselves to the higher end, because it creates greater opportunity for financial freedom in your business. You can play the Walmart, Old Navy, Uber Pool game, but it's a volume game and it requires you to have a lot more customers in order to get to a level of financial sustainability that will allow you to make the money that you want to make, to really significantly secure the bag and create the freedom you deserve. So they didn't start their lower business at the lower end of the marketplace when it comes to price, and you don't have to either. Okay, so I want you to really think about this when it comes to your business. So I want to share with you, which brings me to the 3 ways that high ticket can help you to grow your business. These are the 3 big takeaways that I want you to get out of today's show. Number 1, positioning yourself as a luxury service provider, positioning yourself at the higher end of the marketplace will allow your offer to be more profitable. More profit means that you have money left over after you pay for the expenses that it costs you to deliver your service. So that means when you have money left over, you can cover your business expenses, you can pay your taxes, you can pay yourself, you can reinvest in the company. It gives you more freedom to stretch your dollar for what you're making in your business without worrying about being able to do any of these things, like pay yourself, like hire team members, like make investments in coaching and training and other things that you want to do for your business, like be able to, take a vacation that's a business retreat. I recently did a trip to Mexico that I might have mentioned. Yes, I did mention on the podcast that I recently did a January getaway to Catalonia, Mejerez, Mexico. And I was able to do that as a business retreat where I can expense it as a business expense because I worked on the business while I was there. I was thinking through what our strategy was going to be for the year. I was going over what we accomplished in 2022, right? So it was like a CEO retreat for me, and also some time to have some rest and relaxation and recuperate and prepare for the year ahead. So that's what I want for you. That's what I want your business to be able to provide for you. And when you have profit left over in the business, after you have covered your cost of services, that's what it gives you the ability to do. Okay, number two is it will having a high ticket, positioning yourself as high ticket or luxury service provider will allow you to attract a higher caliber of clients. These are the people with the disposable income. It's time to get out of trying to stretch yourself and your business to service people who are constantly saying they can't afford your services. They don't have the money. They're not prepared. They got to get their money together. I need to I don't have the funds right now, right? Like, aren't you tired of hearing that when you're talking to customers about your offers? Don't you want to be in a place where you're servicing people that are happy to invest with you, that are excited to work with you, that will set the money aside, that will do what they need to do so that they can receive the benefits of the value of the service that you provide in the marketplace, who are waiting and ready and willing to invest in what you offer? That's what business is about. That's what I want you to have, is that opportunity for people that are lined up to work with you, and not that you're attracting people that don't have the funds. When you're positioning yourself at the higher end of the market, you're going to attract people that are wanting a transformation at the higher end of the market. They're willing to pay more. And I want you to think about this. You may be like this in an area of your life. For example, I remember a time where, and there's nothing wrong with this, like I'm not, disappointed in myself for doing this, but I remember a time, and I don't even think there's a Payless shoes anymore. I don't even know if that company still exists, but I remember a time where I was like, yes, I'm going to go to Payless and get me some shoes. And then I upgraded to other places like DSW. And then I upgraded to other places like Macy's for going to my shoes. And then I keep, upgrading to other places, for different merchandise that I want in my life, because I'm willing to pay for higher quality. Sometimes when you're buying things and you know that it's a lower quality, you're going to get a lower quality experience. You're not going to get the customer service. You're not going to get the perks like a bonus gift when you join. You're not going to get the level of performance that you want, right? There may not be as many features or benefits to the service that you're getting. And so when you position yourself at a little bit higher end of the experience, you may have a whole entire experience that you set up from when a customer walks into your virtual doors or your physical doors, right? That they can really get the gist of your business, and they're totally impressed by what you're doing in the marketplace, because you have positioned yourself in a higher level in the market, in your industry. You're standing out from the competition, and those higher caliber, I don't know why I couldn't say that word, those higher caliber clients are attracted to you. And then finally, last but not least, is it allows you to provide a quality client experience. And when you have a quality client experience, it generates testimonials and referrals. And that's what you need to have business coming towards you, to have business to be attracted to you, to have clients that are excited and ready to work with you. You want those referrals. You want those testimonials that are coming your way and knocking down your door. And by positioning yourself in the higher end experience, you can create those bells and whistles, like I was just talking about, in your business that really get clients excited. Like, yes, this is exactly the kind of person, this is exactly the kind of service provider that I want to do business with. Okay, so let's recap the 3 ways that high ticket offers will help you to grow your business. Number one, it'll make you more profitable. It'll make your business, your entire business, more profitable. Number two, it'll allow you to attract a higher caliber client. And number three, it allows you to provide a quality client experience. So, if this episode today was helpful for you, then I want to encourage you to leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the Breadwinning Women show. And if you're watching us on YouTube, yes, didn't you know we are currently available on YouTube now? If you're watching us on YouTube, then I want to ask you to hit that like and subscribe button so that more people can find us and the Breadwinning Women podcast on YouTube. And finally, I also want to ask you to share this episode with a business bestie or girlfriend that you know could benefit from the Breadwinning Women show, and help us to spread the word about creating more high earning women in business. There are only 12% of women that are earning 6 figures or more in revenue in their business, and I'm on a mission to change that, and I can do it with your help. So help us to spread the word about the Breadwinning Women podcast. All right, that's our episode for this week. And before I go, just a quick reminder that you'll get the most benefit out of this show, not just from hearing the episodes and learning what I'm talking about, but by taking action on what you learn so that you can become the breadwinning woman that you desire and you deserve to be. Until next week, bye for now.